Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Han here, and it is absolutely great to see you here this afternoon. And today, I'm super excited to have Todd back with us to teach us more about video marketing and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he's going to share some awesome ninja trick with us again. But most importantly, and to the end of this interview, he's going to share a fantastic product and a very affordable video player. I think anyone who's serious video marketers need to own this, and he's going to tell you exactly why he loved about this product so much that he want to make this happen for everyone else as well. So be very exciting about that as well. And before we get into all this excitement here, let's kind of learn how Todd got started with the internet marketing, and most importantly, what did he do exactly to achieve a level of success that he has today? So, Todd, could you kind of take over the mic and share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Oh, sure. Well, we've done this before, so I'll try to put a unique twist on it. And I'll do just that because the product that's I'm going to talk about later during this actually is related to it. And what happened is back in 2005, I was let go from my job in television. And I then continued to work in TV on and off for many years, but while I was doing that, I wanted to really get, of course, firmly into internet marketing, which quickly became my main job starting in the middle part of 2006. So what I did is right away I ascertained that there was a real lack of people doing videos on the internet. And I teamed up with Derek Van Dyke, and we produced a product called Squeeze Videos, and at the time that was one of the first semblances of video squeeze pages, which we did, and folks subscribed monthly to get these video squeeze pages that promoted various products from us. And then since then, what I've been doing is I've been championing many different kinds of launches in the internet marketing niche, but usually always gravitating back towards video launches. Obviously, because I had been well versed at it, I was able to make videos, I was able to do videos and help people who were doing them as well, since I had, started in that arena. Now, that's where this story becomes interesting, because there was a guy that approached me. I was around 2007, 2008. His name was Sean Pringle. Now, the first thing that he had out there was called FLV Player, which is one of the first things that I used and I promoted because I needed a player, for my videos. And that was one of the things that we always had a problem with from day one, is we always needed a player for our videos. At the time, we self-hosted the videos. Now, YouTube was just starting to come out at that time. They started to take over Google Video. And there were no players at that time that used YouTube yet. And what happened was you either used YouTube to host your videos, or most marketers like myself were hosting on our own servers and using our own video players as best we could. The problem was that if you get any kind of traffic, the video would kind of crash or not play because too many people tried to access it at once. So Sean then opened up a service called Easy Web Video, and he gravitated immediately towards hosting on his site and hosting with Amazon S3. And Amazon S3 was the solution that I used and almost every other big marketer used, both when Sean's Easy Video Player Easy Web Video. I made a very interesting slip there, which I'll tell you about. So Sean's Easy Web Video came out around 2008, 2009. And what he did at that point was he then went on his merry way after I had a really strong participation in getting that product off the ground, And I hadn't heard from him for several years. I used his product for a while, then I moved to Easy Video Player as well, which I mentioned a moment ago. I made that little slip. And it was very similar, actually. It did much of the same things. And then over the years, I've used various different video players. And then Sean recently came to me with his partner, Michael Creasa, and said, hey, why don't we try to get Easy Web Video out there again? And I said, it's kind of expensive. I mean, Easy Video Player is like $297 or at least $200. And Easy Web Video, was a fairly high monthly charge at the time. And I said, let's really take the core features of Easy Web video and really package them together and bring it out to the public at the kind of pricing that I like to get things out, where I could get it to our folks. Like you and I, Han,
Hmm.
you and I do something very similar. We like to promote products that are extremely good, but
Hmm.
very affordable, so that we could sell to the maximum number of people. And
Right, right.
that's something I learned in like grade school. That's the one type of marketing. The
Hmm.
biggest gurus that I know all always tell me not to market that way. They say market the highest possible price products to the smallest number of people. And I find that contradictory to being a good marketer, because how could you call yourself a good marketer if
Right.
you're serving such a small number of people, only people who have a lot of money?
Hmm.
All right, so they said, all right, you tell us what to do. So I said, all right, let's restructure the whole package, and let's really take the core features of Easy Web Video, put it into something new, and also take the Facebook feature that you have, which I'll talk about later, and
Hmm.
let's package that as well. So I'll tell you all about this later, because I don't want to spoil the rest of the tips, the video tips and things that I'm going to give in this interview. But I just wanted you to know how this whole thing came about, how I basically got together with these guys so early on. I helped start their entire service. I forgot about them for a few years, and then boom, there they were with one of the best services that I'd ever seen, updated for 2014, and all of a sudden I'm part of it. So that's exciting. But let's talk more about, in general, about video, because I have some things I want to share today.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about why. I mean, obviously you have a very unique background with the televisions, but let's talk about in generality why someone who's not using video as a communication channel to their potential clients need to be on video. Why is video going to be continued growth in exponential rate at this rate right now? We can see why is video so important? Why videos, in other words?
I've given up telling people why, because it's just so obvious
Hmm.
that things having to do with video sell a lot, and when you use video, especially when you use certain kinds of video that are good,
Hmm.
um, such as the sketch videos are very popular right now. Stand-up videos, talking heads, when you get a good video presenter, that's really good. Even voiceovers working with PowerPoint slides work very well.
Hmm.
And those videos, if you follow a certain script,
Hmm.
that is, you present the problem, all right, and then you solve the problem in the video, you're actually telling a story to people that sells. And I'm not going to bother anymore trying to come up with statistics and convince people how effective this is, because it's just the way it is.
Hmm.
Video has always been there. It's always been the most magical thing to everybody. It's staring you in the face every day. Who doesn't have a TV and watch TV? Who doesn't know that commercials on TV are the way that things get sold? Everybody knows this, and video has always been there waiting to burst out on the internet, and it was just being held back because technologically
Hmm.
it wasn't ready for it yet.
Hmm.
So what I find is that people in general are still in their minds thinking like, well, why video? The question is not why video, it's why would you do anything else? Video is, of course, more effective. Everybody gravitates towards a story that is told by video, and there's
Hmm.
no reason not to think so. So I'm not even going to answer that question anymore, because at this point, it's just ridiculous to think that video isn't the way to go. I mean, it just is, always has been since television and movies were first developed as early as the 19 teens. We're
Hmm.
talking now almost 100 years of video being the way to go.
Hmm. And I think that with the newer generation, they're all definitely programmed to watch more videos. No longer on the television anymore. So the mobile devices, it's all over the place. Just because the technology has been, I don't know, quadrupled in the last couple of years.
Right, and look what happened with YouTube. It just took off from the very get-go. I mean, it took off before I even knew it existed, and that was amazing that I didn't even know it existed when I was in marketing. The whole thing is just a phenomenon. Um, People just gravitate towards video, even when it's a raw kind of video that isn't necessarily professionally done, but still tells a story. And that's what's so important to realize, is that you don't have to have a super professional video, you just have to have a.
Todd, are you there?
pause for
Okay,
just a
Todd, you
second
gotta cut
there.
off for.
Sorry about that,
Yeah, yeah. It's all right.
but I'm back.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of come back to the question here very quickly. And there's something else you like to share with our audience as well that I know when it comes to video, the biggest subjects always come to YouTube, and you have a very unique perspective. Because you kind of if you've been doing this video for a while with YouTube, they like to for no whatever reason so ever just kind of ban your videos, whatever it is. And you have a different perspective on not just marketing on YouTube, but you should be hosting by yourself as well. Let's talk
Well,
about that a
you
little
know, it's something that I took for granted early on,
bit.
and all the big marketers took for granted. And then it occurred to us recently that most people don't realize that you absolutely should not be using YouTube for your actual videos that you have on your main website.
Mm-hmm.
You can only use YouTube as an additional tool for SEO, and the reason is very clear. The reason is because YouTube, number one, can yank those videos at any time. They could close your account at any time. And this isn't something that just happens to a few people. This is something that happens to a ton of people, including myself, twice. So my videos have been yanked recently for no reason. Copyright infringement was the claim, but they were certainly my own videos. I made them, okay? So there was nothing that there was no music on them or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody just didn't like me, so they put a copyright infringement notice in. And you know what? Recently, there is a professional photographer in Scotland who has now a large following of people trying to get YouTube to get his videos back because he was shut down, his YouTube channel, and his business was shut down, his photography business, because somebody did the same thing. They just didn't like him for whatever reason. They claimed copyright infringement. YouTube is automated, so they didn't check it out. There's no way to communicate with YouTube. They took him off. So it's just, an absolute travesty what YouTube does sometimes in terms of taking off your video. If let's say you have too many views that come on too quickly, because they know that if you purchase views, it's a bad thing, so they'll take your video off. But what if you got all those views legitimately? They might take your video off. You don't know. You just don't know. Also, video on YouTube, very risky because you're sending people to other people's videos when you do that. People find ways to click onto the YouTube site, whether you're on your own page or not. They see your video on the YouTube site. They see everyone else's videos. The related videos pop up, and it draws you away from, of course, it draws your viewers away from your video and onto other people's videos. And that's the last thing you want, is a distraction like that. So there's just a myriad of reasons not to use it for your own main website. You just want to use it when it comes to SEO and that sort of thing. And even then you have to be really careful and not to base it all on your main channel. You can't get a YouTube channel and expect it to last. It's something that most likely won't get shut down, but could very well get shut down. You don't want to risk your business like that. So either your video could get pulled or your whole YouTube channel, your whole account could get pulled. And that's what the problem is. So yeah, originally one of my whole accounts got pulled. That's why my YouTube is Todd WX2 rather than Todd WX, because Todd WX got pulled way back when for absolutely no reason that I know of, other than I was using marketing videos. And in our marketing niche, YouTube originally didn't like at all that we were doing marketing videos. And to this day, it's a gray area whether they accept marketing videos on YouTube. So even that is risky. So yeah, you want to use something like Amazon S3, which is super quick. In fact, it's the only thing that's super quick, super cheap. Will not overload. And that's why we've all used S3 for so many years.
So let's talk about
S3 is the thing. Go ahead.
For those who just joined internet marketing, doesn't know what Amazon S3 is all about, they probably heard the terms all the time. Can you take a couple of seconds to kind of explain what that is?
Yeah, it almost sounds technical, and when you first set it up, it almost seems technical, which is part of what we have been the solution for. But basically, Amazon has a service where you could host, you could put anything on it, S3. You could put files, you could put videos, and it's so large and so fast that you're able to not run into any bandwidth problems or any download time problems. There's just no load on the server that's going to, occur and cause, a lot of collisions between a lot of people trying to come in at once. People will always be able to download the files you put on there, or they'll be able to watch the videos that you put on there without any problems, because Amazon S3 is just so large. And they charge so little for this service, and always have, that it's, a no-brainer to use Amazon S3. The problem with S3 is that it is more complicated in that you need certain codes initially when you set it up. But once you put those codes in, then if you interface it with a video player, actually it's easier than grabbing a video from YouTube in many ways. So Amazon S3 has always been the way that we've always done video in terms of marketers, video marketers, and any of those video gurus, video or not. Any of the internet marketing gurus you see, they always use S3 as well to host their videos. It's just a standard that we've always used, and not everybody uses it. And it's about time that people, who do this every day, not just the gurus, used S3. So that's one of the things that we're all about. Now, if you interface it with Facebook, okay, which is a really cool feature that some video players allow you to do, is you're actually able to then spread your video around virally once you create, of course, your video and put it in the player. Now, when I say put it in a player, we'll be talking about what our player, which is called Video Marketing Publisher, is all about. I'll show you a demo, in fact, because you'll see that you could add interactive features like put up a web form and things like that that actually will carry with the video when you put it on Facebook. So it's really important to understand that players aren't just players that play video in a certain envelope, but in addition to that, they also allow you to create functions that are dynamite by sharing the video or forcing someone to share the video before the video will play. Things like that, or redirecting someone at the end of the video to another website. That's what these video players are all about.
Absolutely. And we're gonna, if you just using Amazon S3 like a raw, it's kind of very robust kind of look and feeling to it. It's complicated. So you need something like this kind of easy video sort of tool, and like on the surface, make the interface much easier to interact with. So you don't have to deal with the permissions and all kinds of crazy Amazon keys.
Right, it's hard to interface Amazon S3 even after you set it up the first time if you don't have a specific video player that does that automatically for you, right?
Right. So yeah, you guys can do your own research after this interview, but. And another thing I think Todd forgot to mention is that Amazon S3 is actually cloud server, so that means it's super power right there. So you're never gonna run out of bandwidth versus if you're just hosting on your shared hosting company. No, when it comes to videos, and it's super affordable. It's like I don't even know. It's like really cheap, and you guys can.
Yeah, for most people, it will come out to like $1 a month, if that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm trying to get to here. So can you kind of teach my video marketers here? You've been doing this for a very long time. Can you share maybe a couple of video marketing tips with us before we kind of do the demo?
Yeah, I jotted a couple down, and I remember one of them was a little bit tricky. Had to do with Facebook, and I'm trying to remember what I jotted down because I knew it was sneaky, so I automatically forgot it because I was scared to mention it. So let me see if I can remember it.
Okay.
If I'm on Facebook. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay. Very cool. All right, so the first one is really obvious. It's the length of your videos. Generally speaking, if you're not doing a long demo, and you just want to have a video that, let's say, introduces your product or service on your website, you may be wondering, well, how long should I make it? Well, we've experimented with the attention span of the viewers of videos, and the attention span falls off sharply after 1 minute and 45 seconds. So that means, generally speaking, you should try to keep your videos down in length to 1 minute 30, 1 minute 45 seconds, not quite get to 2 minutes. And that's going to help you out a lot if most of your videos are not too long. So try to keep them short, and just to make it very clear, there are about 155 to 160 words in a minute of video. All right, so keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing, the one that I'm almost scared to mention,
Mm-hmm.
is a trick that I kind of stumbled into over the course of several years.
Mm-hmm.
When in Facebook, you know how your Facebook profile, you have friends, and they may be regular friends and internet marketing friends, and they always told you in Facebook that you should also create Facebook pages for your business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I noticed that a lot of the people that would be friending me were
Right.
actually people that were in the internet marketing world that were trying to be friends with me, and then somehow once I befriended one, then of course I saw all their friends, and I was able to see how many of the people that were out there that were befriending me and that I was then able to see through them had a lot of other friends in the internet marketing niche. Now my point is this: a lot of you already know that in your main Facebook profile you can get through to a lot of marketers, or a lot of people that are interested in marketing, by seeing who they are friends with. So in that way, you can actually gain a lot of people who are interested in internet marketing as friends. Now, here's the point about that. Once you post a video with our product or any product, our product is called Video Marketing Publisher Social. You post a video, or any ad, as a matter of fact, any, not ad, but any news feed post that you make.
You're getting cut off for a second again. Waiting for him to come back. Are you still there, Todd?
You froze again. All right, sorry. I noticed that we're freezing when my hard drive is going off. Sorry about that. What happens is, when you make a post, you are allowed to pay to promote that post. If you make it so it is not really an ad, but leads to a place where there may be some sort of ad coming up later. So I'm not trying to tell you to directly promote an ad, okay? But if you want to promote a post, it really spreads out like crazy when you pay the $6.99 to promote your post. So you can put a video in your newsfeed, pay to promote it, and it will spread out all over the place. Especially if you built up your Facebook with friends who you know are related to internet marketing products. So that's my other tip for the day. It is video related because I'm suggesting you promote your videos that way. I'm also suggesting you don't try to sell a product directly that way, because then Facebook could get involved and say you're not supposed to do that.
Okay. Kind of had to be settled with it.
So have you ever done that, Han? Paid to promote a post in your regular?
I haven't done that, paid to promote a post, but not with the video. So I'm excited to kind of try it out.
Yeah. Now I did that. I did that with our service that we're talking about today, and we had an opt-in form. Remember, you're able to carry the videos with the tricks. So we had an opt-in form in there, and 300 people opted in to our list, today, because we had a video up that I did that paid to promote. Very cool.
Right. I think a lot of people listen to this will love to have 300 opt-ins per day here, especially by doing a very little work here to get
$6.99 for that. $6.99.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable for that many opt-ins. So why don't we? Do you have a couple minutes? Maybe kind of show us what is awesome thing.
Okay, let's back up and talk about the product in question. So we talked about the fact that YouTube is kind of dangerous to use. So we suggested that you use Amazon S3, and then I said, but you need a player to do it.
Right,
And
right.
earlier on in the conversation, I mentioned that we came up with a player that I was familiar with from years back
Hmm.
called Easy Web Video, and then I said, "Well, let's get that actual video player and let's shrink it down to the core values of it." So
Hmm.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you a demonstration right now of just some of the ways that it works, okay? Because it will show you some of the features that make this unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change right now over to my screen share. Okay, and Han, can you see it now, the Easy
Yes.
Web Video
Yes.
interface?
Yes.
Okay, so our product, which now is called Video Marketing Publisher, which is a product that is derived from Easy Web Video, you're looking at it right here. And what you do is you select your source videos, and when it says videos, the reason it does so is because you can actually create a player that shows more than one video at once. And that's
Hmm.
one of the things that's unique about this particular video service. So I'm going to show you what to do. You just click on Select Source Videos. So I'm selecting two, T1 and T2, and I'm opening them. Now they're pretty short, so they should load, and basically we're going to be able to render them quickly.
Hmm.
And in fact, you see it down here at the very bottom left-hand corner that there's two videos. So this is the first video. You can see me smiling there. And this is the second video coming up. That's me leaning over a little bit there. So those are actually two separate videos. All right? You would normally do this with just one video, but I wanted to show you that you can make a player that actually holds two. Then you select your output size. You follow these steps. One is conversion settings. And I know that this is a 16 by 9 format, wide format. Usually it's 4 by 3 or 16 by 9. So I'm going to pick the 256 by 144, make a small video out of this. And this is pretty important. Most people may not tell you how important this is. So I want to just explain. There's not many controls, but the advanced settings, I think this is important that you reduce this to 320 or 560, because then your video will be smaller and will play faster, even though it won't be quite as high quality. And then if you're a video aficionado, you know the difference between 264 and Sorensen codec. I don't really understand the difference. And if your video is not really 16 by 9, it's a 4 by 3, you could stretch it to fit the entire frame if you want by clicking that check mark.
Okay.
And deinterlacing, I always understand that when it's explained to me, and then I forget it about a day later. So I, of course, forgot what interlacing is. But I do know it when people explain it to me.
Uh-huh.
So then what you do is you just do this. You're still in step one here. You actually create your video on your desktop, and you can see it's converting right here. Basically, with normal size videos, this may take a few minutes, but these are pretty short videos, so it's going to go real quick. Now, I want to explain that most of what you do is on your desktop, but there's a section that you are going to do on the web as well. But what we're looking at right here is the player that we've selected so far, and now you have a chance to select different kind of players if you want. So the player that we've selected so far is going to look like this, with a video on the left and then two videos on the right, because you will be able to choose, or your viewers will be able to choose between video 1 and video 2. Remember how we had two videos from before?
It's like a playlist.
It's very much like a playlist. That's correct. Now the player settings, that's number 2, allow you to change the color of the video player, like that.
Oh, wow.
Change the actual, let's see what else we got. The start action, you can load your video or you can auto play it. All right, so let's auto play it.
Hey, it's Todd Gross with a long overdue warning about...
All right, so it's actually working. I didn't realize that we have a little working thumbnail here, which is cool.
Really cool solution. Hey, it's Todd Gross with a really cool solution.
Oh, that's interesting.
You've probably noticed already.
You may collect buttons all day.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun to play with. All right, then at the end, you can do a couple of things. You could play the next video,
Mhm.
or you could loop it.
Mhm.
All right, or you could
Hey,
pause it.
it's Todd Gross with a long overdue warning about you. Hey, it's Todd Gross with a
All right,
long
enough.
overdue warning.
You could show an embed button so people will be able to embed your video. You could add social media buttons right on the video. You could see that very tiny right in through here. You could put a redirect URL at the end of the video, so you could actually redirect to any site you want after the video plays, which is, of course, very, very important.
Mhm.
You can choose between different players. Now, for instance, the one here, you can see the playlist on the right. Player number 2, on the other hand, you do not see a playlist
That's
at
cool.
all.
That's cool.
Player number 3, watch how the playlist is going to come back in just a minute. There's no playlist, but player number 4 has the playlist on the right as a list. Okay, I call these videos T1 and T2. Player number 5, I believe, had a little playlist thing right here. See that? It's a clickable button that allowed you to get a playlist going,
Mhm.
and you could shrink the playlist back. So each one of these players is a different function in terms of how it works. And as I said, you don't have to have a playlist if you don't want, but you saw how easy it was to put a playlist together. Next, I want to show you what the embed logo allows you to do. Look, transparency spelled wrong. I have to give them a hard time again back at the programming department.
Transparency.
You select a logo. The logo will then sit on your video, and it will be clickable. You put your link right in here, so when people click that link, it will go to your website.
Yeah, this could be also a call to action button too, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It could be a call to action button, and there's also these kind of labels. This is number 4. These are call to action labels.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you put a new label, or you delete a label, a new image, delete an image, add an email form. Now,
Mhm.
this, of course, is a way to get people to opt into your list when you add an email form. Now, what's really cool in Aweber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, and One Shopping Cart, you're able to actually just click on the actual list name. Now, later on, if you have GetResponse or others, once you upload this to our web service, you'll be able to put the opt-in form there as well. Most of the features are here, but for a few people, but some of the features are going to be once you upload it to the service. You're going to play with it on our service itself as well, where you get the opt-in form, and that's where you'll be able to use some of those other email services. So that's another cool thing, is that with these 4, what you're able to do is just put the list name. Now, I don't have the latest version of the software. This may have been changed where there's more services that are also included now, but I do know that you're able to get the actual form itself from your service and plug it in as well, which is an option doing it the other way that I just mentioned.
Mhm.
So what's really cool is you can click on this that says required. Okay, see this button here? It says required. Oops, sorry. Let me just put something in here. All right, however. And this required button means that the person is required to opt in before the video will continue. Now
Mm.
that's really cool, because what that means is that you can stop the video dead in its tracks until they actually, of course, opt in. So you could force the opt-in. Now, why this is so important is because if you get the actual version of the software that allows you to post this to Facebook, you could force people to share, you could force people to opt in, and it all carries over in Facebook as well. So that's how we were able to get. So we didn't actually even force anybody, and we still got the 300 opt-ins today. But you can do that. You can actually force people to opt in to get the video to continue to play.
That's
After you're
cool.
all done, here, let me just get out of that. after you're all done, you click on publish, and then what happens is it uploads to our web service, and once it's there, you're going to go and grab the video code or further edit the video even more. But I didn't want to take too much of your time up. I just wanted to show you the main functions that you can use on your desktop, but there are more functions on the actual server itself, our server, that you upload this to. Now remember, we've existed since around 2007, 2008. That's when this service first came to be. And one of the main things that I remember early on about EasyWeb Video was the fact that we were able to do that thing where you put more than one video up at once into the player, which you called the playlist, Han. And that's one of the signatures of EasyWeb Video, and now, of course, Video Marketing Publisher, which is, of course, the alternative to YouTube. So what we originally called Tube Danger, we now call Tube Danger No More Video Marketing Publisher, part of the EasyWeb Video family. So that's basically what we're all about here.
Okay. Okay, great. And another thing I want to kind of mention is this thing actually works with both Mac and PC.
Yeah, it's actual separate Mac and PC software that you download once you purchase, which is nice because it's not like you have to have parallels for your Mac. I mean, it uses Mac software. I noticed on my Mac, I had to go to the internet and take 2 minutes to install something that popped up when I first ran the software that Apple was telling me that I needed to install to make the software run. But it took 2 minutes, and it automatically ran after that, and it told me exactly where to get it. Okay. So it works great on my Mac. I'm using it on my Mac, and of course most people will use it on a PC.
Okay, cool, cool, awesome. I think everybody should be on Mac, but that's an opinion from later today. But let's talk about the offer now. Let's talk about a specific question to the offer now. Let's talk about the name of the product, time to launch, and who's going to be really benefit for getting this.
Okay, now originally we were handing out a pamphlet that was called Tube Danger that was giving, of course, warnings about using YouTube as your main actual place to host videos. So we're calling this Tube Danger No More Video Marketing Publisher. Okay, so Video Marketing Publisher is the official name. We were trying to think of a name different than EasyWeb Video because it now differs from that service. And then if you get the Facebook option that allows you to have the player actually move over to Facebook and play directly in Facebook. I mean, it plays right there on your newsfeed. That's called Video Marketing Publisher Social. All right, I'm very excited to be offering that for just a few dollars more. And the whole thing, Han, of course, if you follow Han, you know that products that he recommends are generally extremely low cost. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get you a special deal on this, and you're coming in early. You're going to get a price that's unbelievable for everything that this thing does. I particularly love the fact that we have the Facebook integration potential here, because there's other products such as Video Skin that does this with YouTube videos, and this doesn't require that you use YouTube videos to have all this interactivity on Facebook, which is great.
All right, so you want to kind of review the early bird time now, or would you like to hold off until to the very end?
Oh yeah, I'm nervous to mention prices, but we're talking about, you know, the price for dinner for two, for the whole kit and caboodle, you know, and to have a video player that's, you know, kind of like Easy Video Player, which now is Easy Video Suite and costs hundreds of dollars, to have a video player like that for just a one-time fee that's a couple of $dozen that posts to Facebook. I mean, this is just an extraordinary value. I don't want to talk about specific numbers because we may change the price as we go in. But I mean, we're talking about something really crazy low for what you're getting here, and you'll be really pleased. You're probably expecting, you know,
a lot more.
67, 97, 127. It's nothing like that.
Okay, great. So that's good news. So stay tuned. We're gonna tell you, you know, when this thing goes. Let's talk about what exactly are they getting inside the front end, and how many days are going to keep this thing open.
Yeah, well, we actually have an offer on the inside that's very interesting. It's a video sitemap creator. So on the front end, you have a choice between the player itself,
Hmm.
and it includes a lot of video training, a lot of training on how to get this player to work. And
Hmm.
you don't really need it. It's intuitive. But what I just showed you, you know, it comes naturally after using it one or two times, but the first time may seem confusing for like a minute or two. And you really, it's nice that the training's there for a change because our service goes back so far, so we have the training all done, and it's been done for a long time and it just keeps getting better. So we have the training, we have the video player, we have the Mac PC software, of course, and then we have you getting an account online with us so that you can upload to our server and do the further integration. Um, where that's where you actually get the code and the embed code out, and then you could put the embed code wherever you want. You also have the ability to just send to an actual link, not just the embed code, so that you actually have a page all set up and ready to go. So in case you don't want to necessarily embed this anywhere, you just want to have a page that's all set and ready to go, you have one. Okay, so that's something else that you'll have. That's one of the front end offers. Add the Facebook integration where you could post your videos to Facebook with all those interactive features that I mentioned. Guess what? That's just a few dollars more. And then on the inside, we figured that you might want to have a video sitemap generator where Google actually, of course, loves video sitemaps, and they tend to not only rank you higher in the search engines when you have a video sitemap, but sometimes they even allow a little video right next to your listing
Hmm.
when people search for you on Google. They've been bouncing back and forth whether they always show those video icons. You've seen them, you know what they're like, but they don't always show the video icons, so I don't want to promise that they'll do it, but usually they do. And we have a video sitemap generator on the inside, which also is inexpensive. So that's basically the whole thing. There's a lot of value here, very low cost, a ton of stuff, very professional. It's gone back for years in terms of our roots, and that's why I'm so excited about it, if you can't tell.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk about the OTO here a little bit.
Yeah, that was the OTO, the video sitemap generator. I shot ahead of you.
Okay.
Um,
All right, I thought that was kind of all together. Okay.
no, video sitemap generator is the one-time offer. I think it's going to be very low cost.
Okay.
Again, not even as much. I think it's only around $20 or 17 or something like that. And it's
Okay.
really great stuff in that you can create a video sitemap for Google and for your videos. I mean, really good.
All right. So is there any other OTO after that?
No, this is one of those simple launches. Now, we're going to have a webinar in a couple of weeks
Okay.
that is included, all right?
Okay.
So everybody will be able to be part of this event where we teach how to use the software best. And we'll probably show you the overall easy web video service in that webinar. But other than that, there's no one-time offer at all here other than the easy sitemap generator, at least not right now. We think eventually we may offer developers' rights as a one-time offer. Right now, developers' rights are going to be included, Han, so that you
Oh
could
wow.
use
That's
these
interesting.
videos for your clients. All right, for 10
That's
days, we're including the developers' rights. So that would have been a one-time offer, Han, but we decided to include it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Just make this deal even more attractive. So okay, I think that's pretty much all the question I need to ask you here, Todd. And but I've got one last question. Is as people watching this, and especially someone just starting out, working with a very limited budget, and they want to have a cool video player for a very, very long time. They understand you can't just let YouTube do all the work because they're the one in control. You want to be always in control of your own video. So they want to grab this at this very affordable price. But everybody has a little voice on the back telling them not to do it, don't buy it, whatever the reason it is, and not to taking action. So my question to you, Todd, is what makes this product so unique they should absolutely grab during this launching period?
Well, there's several things, actually. Number one, it's not a WordPress plugin. All right, so we know that there are some really good players out there like Simple Video Player. All
Mhm.
right, which is a WordPress plugin. This is
Mhm.
not. It depends on your preference. I personally prefer non-WordPress players like a lot of folks do.
Mhm.
Number two, This uses Amazon S3 like the big boys. Number 3, the Facebook integration. We haven't seen that before with Amazon S3. Generally speaking, the Facebook integration is done with video players that utilize YouTube. And number 4, the most important, the price is very unique here. It's a very low price for an incredible product. So I think there's 4 unique points right there.
And number 5, developer license.
Developer license included.
Add to the list, right? And so guys, you heard it, I think that's all the questions I pretty much have for you, Todd. And before we go, do you have any maybe final word of wisdom you'd like to share? Always put you on the
You're
spot.
great. All right, I do. Okay, so I'm doing a video for this product for somebody. This is actually a flashlight that turns into a lantern. See that?
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
Now, I put this down on a lounge chair at a pool, and there was a young man who was about 6 years old, and he immediately, when I turned my head, stole the lantern.
Oh.
So my word of wisdom leaving you off today is never leave your lantern on your lounge chair when you're at the beach or pool. You wanted a word of wisdom.
That's awesome. That's totally unexpected. That's awesome. So that's awesome. So all right, guys, you heard it. So make sure you stay tuned, watch a very, very cool demo video about this as well. And look out for my email tomorrow. So make sure you grab the early bird price and some awesome bonus coming your way as well. So if you're out there looking for a cool video player, definitely grab this at this developer rights license and a whole bunch of other good stuff he just mentioned here, 5 of them, and go grab it. All right, so just check out my email. And Todd, thank you so much again for your time and energy, and always awesome to interview every single time.
You're welcome. Thanks, Han.
All right, cheers.
All right, bye now.